Hey everybody, this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Happy Saturday. This is a look ahead to the Sixers and Raptors. The Raptors come in at 22-8 and the Sixers come in at 14-17. Really struggling in their last 10. They're only 2-8, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Raptors are 9-1. And the Sixers are at a 10-point disadvantage in terms of favorites tonight. The biggest thing with the Sixers has been getting annoying over time is our defense has been consistently awful. We give up over 109 per game. We score 108. So we need to get better and consistent at defense. Obviously, the numbers go down with Embiid, but that's the whole season's defensive total. So we have better defense with Embiid in the game, but overall our defense just stinks regardless. So maybe when Fultz comes back, that'll help, because he's supposed to be the scorer and shooter, but he is decent at defense, so hopefully he helps. But then we're asking him to really come in and do a lot right from the get-go of when he comes back off of an injury that we shouldn't have played him with that injury in the first place. The other annoying thing outside of the basketball realm with the Sixers is they don't know how to manage injuries. They're one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA we are, at managing when to bring somebody back and when to not have them play and when to have them play. Because obviously you wanted to try to win that Thunder game, but now it seems like having Embiid play that many minutes in that Thunder game really is hurting the team more than it helped the team, because if we sat him like 2, 3, 4 minutes, you could tell his back was awful that game. And then even Rashawn said on Wednesday he looked great in shoot-around, then he didn't go. The Sixers just keep holding guys out for better games. And the most annoying thing is, Markelle Fultz, it doesn't take 3 weeks to be reevaluated. When you don't have any soreness in your shoulder, it doesn't take 3 weeks. Maybe a week, but you shouldn't say, oh, it's going to take 3 weeks. The team doctors for the Sixers are pathetic. They're just, we just don't know how to manage injuries. We don't know how to manage minutes of guys that just come back because we limit them too much. Then they get pissed off. Then we extend them too much, and then they have soreness all over, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, Embiid was supposed to be on a minute restriction this year, which I didn't necessarily agree with in the first place, but he's not really even on that minute restriction, because whenever we need him in a lot of games, he plays upwards of 40 minutes anyway, so why do we even still say he has a minute restriction when we only use it in the dumbest of times? The Sixers are just not a good management team this year. That's just simply put. They don't manage their guys well and manage the bench well and manage the starting rotation well. And Embiid's not in, because Amir Johnson should not be starting on any NBA team this season, let alone the Sixers with the numbers he had. And I'm not hitting Amir Johnson for his career. He has good career numbers. He's a solid player, and he's supposed to be a very athletic guy that can rebound and score some buckets. But that's not what he's doing this year. So you shouldn't keep rewarding him with starting him when Embiid's not playing, when Rashawn Holmes consistently comes in off the bench, and he's off the bench and has better numbers than Amir Johnson when he's a starter throughout the whole game. So that's pretty pathetic for Amir Johnson when Holmes is coming off the bench and he outplays you drastically most of the games. So Rashawn Holmes should clearly be starting if Joel Embiid, which is likely, is not going to play tonight. It's just at the point where he's listed as questionable, where he was listed as probable on Wednesday and didn't play. So the likelihood of him playing while he's questionable is slim. I would be shocked if he plays. Hopefully he plays, because it will be a much better game then. But I would be really shocked. Booker still has an illness, and he himself is questionable for tonight. Yeah, will be another great guy to play. Rebound, very athletic guy. He really gives you everything you thought Amir Johnson was going to give you. But then he doesn't, because he's having, realistically, numbers-wise, the worst season of his career. So hopefully Trevor Booker is able to go, so it adds some to your team down low, rebounding-wise, and even scoring, because his score numbers have gone up by 2 or 3 points a game since he's been on the Sixers. Covington obviously needs to have a game like he had last time. He averages 15.1 with 6.3 rebound. And then J.J. Redick is unlikely to be back tonight. He's doubtful for Saturday, so that's very unlikely with his sore hamstring. Hopefully he's back on Monday on Christmas for that game. Justin Anderson, again, is another guy that's going to be reevaluated that's been taking so long to reevaluate. He's not even listed on the injury list anymore, but if you look at his news, he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks, which today is the 2-week mark, but there's no new news about whether he'll be activated or not to play tonight, because he, at the very least, has played good defense this year when he's been in the game. So he is really worked hard from reading a lot of articles about the Sixers, going on the Sixers, right, and so that really worked hard to make himself a great defender because he knows his offensive game is lacking and he has to work on that. So he's a guy that can help your defense a little bit, but not drastically. So you need to have Embiid back. You need to have Fultz back, who's supposed to be a solid defender as well. And you need to stop babying the players and let them come back when they're healthy enough to come back. Because if a guy's listed as probable, that means most of the day, if not the whole day, you thought he was probably able to play in the game. So if he's listed as probable on Wednesday, you shouldn't be listed as questionable on Saturday. That's really not how that works when you sit around and don't do nothing on Wednesday because you don't play in the game. So the Sixers as a whole, their coaching staff needs to get their act together, their medical staff needs to get their act together, and their management needs to get their act together about knowing. Now, granted, the management made a good move getting Trevor Booker, but they obviously handled the Okafor situation awful in order to get Trevor Booker, where they probably could have got more if that situation was handled better. And now we might need to go out. If Embiid's going to keep being off and on the injury list and missing games, you might want to go out and get an actual center that's not Amir Johnson, because Amir Johnson isn't that tall to go up against big-time centers to be the backup to Embiid, because if you start Holmes, then Johnson's the backup. So you hope you put him in against a guy that's not that good, but some teams, actually a lot of teams nowadays, have a decent backup center or a decent backup big man. So it might be better to go out and get a older center that's just a good backup to Rashawn Holmes, who should be starting in the first place, because Amir Johnson is not cutting it at all this year as a center. And then Sarik's been playing significantly better of late, so they're going to need him to do well in order to have a chance against the Raptors. Embiid's not even going to play, most likely, so we won't even name him. Covington has to do well. If Embiid plays, he should have a great game. There's no questioning that, because every game he's been in this year, he's significantly helped the team. McConnell has looked solid since coming back from his injury. He had a couple bad turnovers last game, but I'm sure he won't do that 2 straight games. Bayless had a pretty decent last game, but then he got cold at the end of the game. The Sixers also need to stop getting catch and chuck. Like, we are a okay 3-point shooting team, but we're much better with Redick in the game, and we're much better when Covington's on. But Redick and Covington are guys that, when they're on, can catch and shoot over people. But then you have Lawal Cabarrot, Bayless, Justin Anderson when he's in. He hasn't been in a while. Try to follow that MO. And they're just not those type of players. So you can't go baseline off of 2 of your best 3-point shooters and 2 guys that are in the top 10 in the league in 3-point shooting and mimic your game off of that, because you're not as good of a shooter as them. So you got to make your own play style, because Lawal Cabarrot should not be camping at the 3-point line and chucking them up over people, because he's not that good of a shooter, at least at this point of his career. So he needs to either work more on 3-point shooting if he wants to do that, or change his game a little bit and do pump fakes and drive more. So the Sixers really just need to get their act together, play like a team, especially on defense. They've been playing decent on offense still, but they have to play as a team for sure on defense, because this is starting to get pathetic how they've been playing of late. Well, this has been a look ahead to the Sixers, the second game of the Sixers and Raptors. It is tonight at 5 o'clock. Have a good holiday weekend, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borick. Peace.